We've got Paul Ludwinski on the line, checking in on his summer up in Ontario. Luddy, great to see you, man. How's the summer been for you?
Good so far. Uh, awesome. Lots of spending time with friends, family, but it's went by so quick. I mean, it's a little bit of a good thing and a bad thing. You want your summer to be, long, but also hockey season's coming up, so it's exciting.
Yeah, are you able to take a little bit of break from hockey once the summer starts, and or do you stay off the ice at all?
Yeah, so I stayed off the ice this year for about 3 weeks. Just kind of golfed every day. Just went for walks with my dog. She's over there tearing up her bed. But yeah, just stuff like that. Just getting outside, going to the cottage, staying off the ice because you want to miss it, right? You don't want to get right
Yeah.
back into it, and you want to miss it a little bit. But when I started skating again, I just skated like once or twice at the start. But I love summer skates. They're fun. Just getting out with different guys that usually play against and seeing their thoughts and like how they approach the league and stuff like that.
That's interesting. Yeah, I would assume that where you are up just outside of Toronto, that you probably don't have a lot of trouble of finding guys to skate around with during the summer.
No, there's a couple big names too, like guys that you look up to when you're younger playing, and then you go train with them and see how they're on the ice and approach a day to day. So it's pretty cool and trying to take away like things like that.
You talk about how quick the summer's gone by. Part of that is because Rockford had a little bit of a run there going into the playoffs. How important do you think those 7 games were for you? Obviously, you contributed on the a score sheet a few times, but it also felt like you were just finding your game more and more. How influential do you think that playoff run can be for that group of young guys that you guys have?
Yeah, I mean, playoffs is playoffs no matter what level. The compete is up a notch, the speed's up a notch, intensity. So I think finding those couple games got us to get a little adapted to it. And, it wasn't a bunch, but 7 games, you can learn a lot in 7 games. And I think we learned a lot from our team identity. We played really hard, and we're a great team. And just stuff happens, but I think for me especially, I just learned to play my role in a team of like very deep players. Like we had a bunch of older guys like up in the lineup. So for me, all I could do is all I could do, and I had to control what I could do, and I made that kind of my goal every night and I try to make the best of it. And that learning experience, I'll take into maybe next year's playoffs, and then hopefully one day, the Stanley Cup playoffs.
How much do you have to focus on your role? Does that change from year to year? Are you talking with the staff maybe at the start of the year and checking in throughout the season as it goes on? Because like you were just saying, everyone's got a load to carry, and it might be a little different for each person.
Yeah, I think you always try to expand your role, day by day in practice, and you always try and earn that extra ice time. But I think when it comes down to playoffs, like playing your role is what you buy into the team, and you're not going to go out there and try to, dance everybody, but you're going to go out there and get pucks in, get on the forecheck, wear their D down, so other guys can go out there and finish the job. And obviously when you have summer break, obviously you work on your skill set, try to go into camp, expand that roles, and that's what I'm looking forward to. This coming training camp is try to establish a little bit more role, and then hit the ground running and keep getting better day by day.
With all that being said, especially it felt like in the spring you were finding more of those moments to use your speed to get to the net and create those high scoring opportunities. Is that a big piece of your game that you're excited to showcase more and more of going into the next campaign?
Yeah, I think so. I think the responsibility defense like widened a lot throughout my playing time, and then near the end of spring, I thought I really started to feel comfortable and like excited to come to the rink every day because I could make an impact on the game. So I think coming to this next season, I'll definitely be taking more pucks to the net, using my speed, and working on things day by day to get better to make a difference on the offensive side, like much more bigger impact this year.
What about in the summer? Do you find ways to keep in touch with guys? You've got such a great core young group of kids, and I don't say that in any sort of offensive way, but you guys are close too. You kind of come out up through the ranks. Do you guys keep tabs on each other and text and call throughout the summer?
Yeah, I mean, even with the staff, like I know I gave Will Moran a couple calls here and there, just talk hockey. I mean, I went to the Coldplay concert and I saw Kevin Korchinski there actually, so it's cool running into him. We spent some time together. But yeah, other than that, it's just, a little text like, "Hey, how are you doing?" You get from a couple guys, and even to send some of the older guys a message like, to Jerry or something, just to try and see what they're doing this summer with their family. It's, everyone spends their summer differently, and you want to keep those connections going through life for sure.
I was at the Coldplay concert too, not the one you weren't at the one where the guy got flamed, right? I
No,
guess
not
you would have
that
got
one.
that wasn't in Toronto.
That
Yeah.
was funny.
That's wild. As we look ahead to towards this next season, things might look a little bit different in both sides of the coaching staff in Rockford and in Chicago with Jeff Blashill up with the Hawks and of course Jared Nightingale here in Rockford. Two guys that seem to have unique styles, but everyone in the organization seems incredibly positive and excited about what these two guys can bring to the respective programs. What do you know, if anything, or interactions about those two guys as we look ahead into the next season?
Well, I mean, obviously for me, it's about first impressions again, because that's a huge thing for me. It's two new coaches coming in, so how hard can I work at camp and leave the first impression that's gonna, carry a little bit of the way. But no, I just heard from both that they coach a lot of energy, and they're exciting coaches that know their stuff. So I'm excited to see what I can, access off of them and like see what I can do.
That's awesome. How fun is it to see guys that are staying in the organization as far as here in Rockford and guys like Brett Sini and Kevin Fitzgerald, Jackson Cates, three of those veteran players that obviously play some really important minutes, but can also be really good mentors for some of you guys too as you go into your sophomore and junior years of pro hockey.
Yeah, I think it's one of the most important things you have is just good mentors. And I talked to guys around the league, and they didn't seem to have as good mentors as we did last year. I think we had a good mix of old and young, and I mean the older guys did a really good job of not like being grumpy and keeping to themselves, but we could always laugh with them and feel very comfortable with them, and I feel that's why we were one of the tightest teams I was on last year. And just had a lot of fun. I mean, every day coming to the rink, you look forward to it, and that's something you want to build, right? You don't want to come to the rink and you just leave right away, but you want to come to the rink with a smile on your face and stay around after, play some ping pong, cool down, talk to the training staff, and that's another thing. Our training staff and everyone in there, it's top notch. Like they're all great characters, great human beings, and it makes it fun to come to the rink. So I'm looking forward to that again.
That's awesome to hear. And yeah, definitely not something to take for granted. Not always the case. And it's a good group here. And we miss you here in Illinois, but excited to have you back here in a few weeks down the road. Best of luck with the rest of the training, the dog walks, all the golf. Thanks for taking the time, Luddy. Good to see you.
Yeah, thanks, Dan. I appreciate it.